What's cranking, mate? What's cranking?
Not much, man. Had to see my son off at take him to the airport at 5 a.m. To go visit family across the country, and then
he's gone for like the whole summer, right?
He's gone for like a month.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So and then he usually goes in the summer for a bit, but yeah, that was the big event today. So I'll have a little bit. Last week I was like trying to spend as much time with my kid as possible because like I knew he was like leaving soon. So I tried to like go hit like a couple local restaurants with him and stuff like that, and just really try to see him as much as I could before he was gone for a month.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hands were full. Looks like.
Excuse me. Yeah.
See, Grumpy's in here.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I've been running into Grumpy all over the place. See,
Yeah.
it feels like.
Yeah. So if anybody's in here and like they have any questions or anything like that, like again, we can't like answer too many questions of like, oh, what's to come or what's this, but like people who are like unfamiliar with the project, like especially people who have like joined Ink recently and don't know, like some people who may not know that like Frank was the person who like video recorded every event we ever had, and like there's that information around. So I just want to make sure that like basically if you guys have questions or if you guys have things that like you think people should know, and suggestions for things you'd like to see, like drop them in Discord in the chat. You know, open dialogues. Like if you want to see something from us, like we'll at least listen. You know what I mean? Like and do what we can to kind of take that feedback and turn it into something. But this was just really something that I decided to do. Oh, sorry, my dogs are going crazy in the background. But this is just something I decided to do. We just like hadn't really had a whole lot of voice chats and really like connected with the community as much. Sometimes we just jump in casually, but I guess people don't, you don't really see that. So a lot of people miss it. So just a little more of an opportunity for everybody to kind of have some open dialogue and just talk. There was a lot of people asking like, where, how did Ink come about? We definitely have some newcomers here that I'd like to kind of talk to as well. So, but yeah, if anybody has any questions or feedback or just wants to say hello or what I did this weekend, feel free to chime in.
Good talk, guys. Good talk.
Full crickets. Thank you, guys.
Hey, I had a question. Can you hear me still? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I just want live drawing that's going on Twitter. It feels like it's less interactive than it was when we had them in the Discord. How many viewers are interacting and engaging with those?
Ooh, that's a good point.
I can look. Hold on.
Do you guys prefer to have it like on the Discord stages sometimes, like where we can just kind of all chat too?
I liked it on Twitter because you can replay it or you catch it live.
So the last one had 4,200 views on Twitter.
Yeah, that's really good. So don't stop that.
Nope, we got another one coming Thursday.
Yeah.
We just announced it. So that'll be on the 11th at 8 p.m. PST or PDT currently right now. But he's doing another live inking. So yeah, I want to. My goal is to get Joey to draw as much as possible for you guys.
Well, she was just asking about like that how much engagement that is versus it in the Discord, because you do get like kind of the more like you feel more involved and interactive like in the Discord versus But
I was saying the last live drawing session on Twitter got 4,271 views is what I was saying.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So yeah, not bad. Also, it comes down to like the platform as well. So like they use a thing called StreamYard in order to stream it because of him doing it on an iPad. It makes it much easier for him to like share his screen and also have like a non-iPad microphone to talk to people. So it gives him a little more flexibility to use better gear for the drawing, and that's why it's kind of in the format it is in on Twitter.
Yeah, that was what ended up working, basically.
Yeah, I mean OBS and stuff like that would work as well, but StreamYard was just boomer proof. So
Yeah, exactly.
but, you know.
Is it hot as hell where you guys are? Because like it's scorching here.
It's 90 here today.
We fixed Pro's air conditioning yesterday.
You did, and it hasn't flooded again.
Nice, hell yeah. So is there like, do you guys prefer like Rafflebot or like Discord and like community engagement stuff? Do you want to like join giveaways by just like clicking join, or like do people want to like have interactive games or something within the Discord, or maybe like I don't know, give them out in more creative ways than just Alphabot, right? Because like it's a catch-22, right? We try to do one way and then people fuss about one way, so it's like you want to like kind of see some of the actual community's feedback, like the people who are around checking stuff out. Like, what do you guys prefer to see? Like, what do you think gives you a better chance?
Have you tried one of those random GAs like the chat section? Right? Maybe there's an important, you have probably a spot to go where you just give us in chats who's active, that kind of thing. You know, those kind of random, those random ones. You don't you don't necessarily have to put an alphabet, like maybe in the chat section, just put a random DA or something. Somebody answers this question, who's active, that kind of thing. In the chat itself, not in a special channel.
Yeah. Perfect. That's good notes. What's up, Con? See you snuck in here. Count. Hello. Some of you guys.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? Good, man. Doing good. Doing good. Hey, Joe.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm a bit behind. Was meant to join us at the beginning. I'm loving Pro's PFP. Looks badass.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh, he didn't.
Yeah,
Did you post
I've only just noticed it. And Grumpy, I want to apologize. All this time, I thought you were just a massive Blade Runner fan. I didn't realize you were the dude.
Yeah, I'm. That's fine.
No, I'm so sorry. Like I think I've probably referred to you as a he this whole like throughout game theory. I'm so sorry. My mind's blown. But yeah, nice to meet you.
That's awesome.
It's a catch. That's a catch-22 for females in Web3, right? Though, because like.
Well, that's it. Every dude's
like,
rocking a female PFP.
Right. Well, not only that, but like like you'll have your normal people who actually respond to that normally, but then you have like your dudes in Web3 who anytime there's a female, like they just talk to them and treat them differently. So it's like one of those names that I think it's kind of cool because it's like if you make one assumption, like it doesn't really say much. Grumpy don't say much, I actually
Well,
that's actually one of the
it's
reasons.
not gonna really change the way I talk to Grumpy anyway.
Same, but you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes, like the ladies of Web3 would rather not even.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, that's actually how I actually had my first DM with Grumpy. I had to apologize because I actually said something like I probably made, if I remember right, I made like a super off-color joke, like and like just that would have been fine if like, I mean, and it really wasn't. Now that I think about it, it wouldn't have been fine regardless, right? But it was like, oh shit, that's a lady I'm talking to. It's like, oh.
Dude.
I felt
But yeah. On the alphabet stuff and whitelist giveaways, try a bit of both, man. But yeah, like Monsieur Sat said, just some of those who's active in chat. is also good because we do have quite a few people that are our daily lot that show up in chat. It'll be good to reward them from time to time. They might not win in raffles so much. They might be just single ink holders. Give them a chance as well.
Yeah,
Because I assume a lot of them sort of bigger holders are just casually holding inks and not really joining in conversations and winning loads of spots, which is fair on them. They own a lot of inks, but you've also got to look after the little guy.
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I think Frenchie and I both personally enjoy the community engagement way of giving these things out. To be honest, it's more fun for us. We get to hang out with you guys, and we see it go to people that like they've participated in something. We know they want it, and they're part of our community and being like an awesome part of our community. So yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, I was told because the anime BTC was free, right? That people will be interested in that. I mean, it hasn't minted yet, right? But we had spots for that, and I had 2 events in 1 week, and I sat in both of them by myself. So I'm just like, okay, I mean, I'll do them, because because if I don't, people are like, you guys used to do fun stuff. But then I'm like, okay, but I did some fun stuff, and I sat there by myself for 20 minutes before I finally called the fun stuff off. So I'm just trying to find a good balance, basically. But I think I'm gonna actually randomize the last anime BTC whitelist to the people that are in here right now. I think I got 1 spot left, so I'm just gonna randomize that to the people in here today. By the way, it's a free mint on BTC. See what could be worth something.
What's it called again?
It was the anime BTC. It's like
Oh yeah.
an old Elon Musk meme, I guess, because Elon Musk shared a picture of it years ago, and
Mm.
like they're using the same artists, make it dropping. I don't know, but pretty cool.
Let's fucking go, mate.
I don't know. Icon. I'm like a boomer though, so I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna copy names.
Don't include me. I've already got it,
No.
so it gives more people a chance.
Add me because I'm greedy. I'm just kidding.
Go ahead. All right, so let's see. I have. I'm gonna put this in a randomizer. This is my list, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm hitting 3 times on this, and then whoever wins wins. 1, 2.
Wait, is it me or I can't see the screen?
I'm not sharing my screen. I could take a quick screen cap if you want. It'll tell me. It'll say I did it 3 times. It gives you my IP address, which I don't like, but that's fine.
Okay, so we're just gonna have to trust you on that, yeah?
Well, I had a UTC timestamp. It's got a UTC timestamp, so you guys just watched it, so and it says 3 times. It's random.org. That's what I used. I'm gonna take off. All right, ready? I'm gonna post it in the invoice real quick so you guys can see the one. Dun, dun, dun. Got a UTC timestamp. You guys can see I didn't cheat that. It was a minute ago. Count Strife, you won. Count's probably at work. Maybe not. Time's up. Yeah, maybe at work. So no questions today? Thank you guys for all these questions. It's been so No, the people who the new folks who are hoping that we're actually going to show up to ask some questions are not here. So I'll just have to come up with some stuff for everybody. I was just kind of hoping to get a collection of questions for those guys. For like newcomers.
Hey guys, I got a question. My name's Jordan. Stoked to be here. By the way, you guys are doing a great job. I just want to say that off the top. And I know that it's like sort of tougher market conditions these days, but I think you guys are doing great. Super stoked to be part of this little community, and I think you've done a great job since the beginning. But I am curious. I feel like I follow this crew closely and all the things that are happening.
Yep.
Sorry, I just had a phone call come in. I'll finish my question here. I didn't really understand that MetaBabe had like backed out or had moved away from the project, or that you guys decided against having him included. I'm just like super curious about like the decision making around that, and the like what seemed like a pretty subtle announcement around that, or maybe non-announcement after you guys changed direction. Is there like a little bit of backstory? And I might be the only one here that doesn't know anything about this, but
there's probably
great to know.
Probably more than you are curious about that. That's a good question. Basically, for legal reasons, of course you can't share all terms of conversations, right? But basically, what Ink was never looking for an investment that way. And we were approached, and we thought it would look like a very like a lot of synergy there, and everybody was very excited on all sides. And as that, of course, we didn't want to really make an announcement until things were finalized. Even I can say this because even MetaBabe said, "Oh, the guys don't want to announce this, but I'm going to do it anyways." When he first announced it, it was a kind of premature because everything wasn't final. And but then of course everybody's like, "Oh, why is somebody saying this but you guys aren't?" So then it's just like, okay, let's make it public, even though it's not completely final. And then basically when we get to a point where it's time to really finalize everything, it just was, and I'm not making my own words here, I'm using kind of Bruno's words, is it was kind of really a predatory deal that was kind of not like he was going to have exclusive rights to IP, and there was really no guarantees that we were actually going to see money at certain intervals anyways. So to give someone IP but not actually have anything to protect you to actually or the Ink team see money in timely intervals, it just created a situation where we now have the whole thing has we have a little egg on our face, right? But that was not something, of course, we wanted. Of course, you never want something like that to fall through. But it was just in Ink's interest to walk away from the agreement, because it wasn't what we originally agreed upon.
Yeah, so you guys are the ones that walked. Off the top, it seemed like a super odd partnership to me, and it seemed like a strange cultural fit to me, between the two groups after watching the little interview you guys did with him. So it makes sense to me, I suppose. I was also curious as to the announcement and how you managed the communication around it. Feeling like it was obviously an awkward situation, so I guess you guys just sort of said, "Oh, we gotta move on quickly and not make a big deal of it," which I also I feel like I respect, because it's a bit of a strange situation for sure.
You have to also understand that took up a lot of our time trying to get that deal done. And so when we decided to make that transition, it was we have this stuff that we want to do, and that deal, what we wanted to do, that deal wasn't going to drive it, right? Our plans were not dependent on the deal. It would have just made things easier, right? It would have greased the wheels a little better. But at the end of the day, so we just switched gears. We instantly switched gears, and that was the thing. We we felt like we were behind at that point, even though technically we're not, but that's just the type of people we are. And so we just instantly switched gears and started working on something else so we could start delivering something tangible, and make up for that time that we used.
Yeah, it was, and you think about like you run into a possible investor who's very excited, and you're very, you have a project and that has a ton of hype around it, and everybody's very excited, and then you have an opportunity to grow the brand and grow the Ink brand without taking from, retail and holders and things like that. And like somebody like proposes this, and it's like, why the hell not? Like if you're going to put 8 million into the IP in China and in the Eastern Pacific, like, and then give us 2 million of additional runway to work to build the brand, like why would we not? Like we're not having to take from holders, we're not asking for a big raise, from them, like why not? And then it's just, sometimes those deals don't pan out, and we just really wish that, those things hadn't been made public before, it was finalized, to be honest. That's the biggest, and like Pro said, that definitely was a lot of time. You're going back and forth. The team's going back and forth for several weeks, and it just really was taking. It was just a time suck, and at some point, we just got to keep moving.
Nice. I respect that. Always just trying to like gauge where you guys are at mentally and how you're making decisions. And, I think that like in like what might be perceived as like missteps are actually just like totally part of the process. And it's, I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Like the exploring these opportunities. I just like, I suppose I was just surprised to hear like in the chat, I was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that you guys had walked away from the deal. So, I just thought I'd ask, and I appreciate the transparency and the honesty. And I like appreciate that it's probably an awkward situation that, didn't require like a full announcement. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. I just needed to ask the question because I'm, always, trying to support this little team and this crew, and just want to make sure that the decision making is always like clear and concise. And that's what I appreciate in a good crew doing cool things like this, trying to build a brand. So thanks.
Well, and the
No, it's a
biggest thing
fantastic
behind
question.
Yeah, fantastic question, and actually led me to this one is like the reason for like a non-announcement there is because like we're not like announcing, like, I mean, because Metabake, he bought into Ink, prior to Mint. Like he owns part of the IP. He doesn't own the treasury and legacy sats or anything like that, but he owns a portion of the IP. He's still there, like he still holds Ink. He still is repping at Ink PFP. Like to come out and like make some announcement that this is, what I mean? Like it's almost like we just didn't want that to be perceived as a shot or anything like that. It's what, what I mean? Like you really just want to kind of avoid any ill feelings with anyone.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
I've worked in startups for quite many years, and like this is just part of business, right? Like especially when it comes to these early rounds of like investment and people being interested in what you're building. Some of these deals are going to work out, some of them are not, and that's a lot of the reason that we play a lot of this close to our chest. Just because like as a startup, like you need to be agile and you need to be available to act quickly, and that's one of our advantages is being a small team that can communicate well. And so yeah, sometimes we just make the decision that this we never would have announced that publicly until the ink was on the paper, right? It got leaked essentially, so we had to do what we could to use, because this entire space is about hype cycles. And so if that kind of information, which was big information, got leaked, we had to do what we could to salvage what hype and what vision was there. And unfortunately the timing wasn't great. And those things are going to happen in this type of business, like in a small business. And that's we just continue to try to be careful and make good decisions, and we're planning farther out than a few days, right? Like these are all the things that that startups have to do to be successful, and we're following those guidelines. We're creating the plans. We just don't want to put you guys in a situation where we promise something and because of the nature of the business, it doesn't deliver. And we just don't want to be those guys, right? Like, so when we say something, when it comes from us, it's a finalized decision 99.999% of the time, unless someone, unless Hansi leaks something. So.
Yeah, and the cool thing, like, I mean, obviously, like, there's not a whole lot we can say about, oh, we can promise you this or that, but like, the blockchain doesn't lie, right? And like everybody know, like you can easily find where we minted, and you can easily find the treasury there. And yeah, there of course are costs with this with running a business and things like that. But if you look, like if anybody actually looks, you'll see that the team is actually very efficiently trying to budget and trying to and moving forward at a very healthy pace. And like, I mean, we all know how spendy teams are in Web3. I can promise you that this team is not that team. None of us are paying ourselves a crazy salary. None of us are like none of us are eating great off of ink. Like we're trying to build something cool, and that's like, and if we're not successful, that we tried. We're gonna give it our all, right? Like that's all that we can do. Um, and ink is for the people, right? But like, so there's gonna be like, there's always gonna be pivots and changes, and like trying to see what your community wants. But we're always building in the background. It's just you can always say what that is, but you can also like you can just watch like the team's here, the team's building, the team is we talk every day. Sometimes we take a day off, but it's very rare. It's even on the weekends. We're in here sometimes at night chit chatting when my wife's in bed. So it's it's definitely fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, for anybody who's ever curious, like I mean, the blockchain doesn't lie, right? There's a treasury there. Yeah, like and they're even like they're even smart with it. Like they saw a dip coming. They knew that monthly salaries were going out. They actually caught a little sell before a dip. It was like, I mean, they're being as efficient as humanly possible, and it's kind of cool to watch. And like that's one of the reasons why like I respect and admire these guys from the beginning. Is like we're just trying to do cool stuff with our friends, and I know that we say that all the time, but it's like really what we're doing. So
Yeah.
it's what we do every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I'm definitely not looking for anything here in this chat, or like I'm not like, trying to get like forward looking, what's next from you guys. I think it's mostly about like looking backwards and just saying like, hey, was this decision like super clear, and were you guys all aligned on it? Knowing like the startup culture really well, I get a really good sense that your group vibe is like a 10 out of 10, and you guys are just like stoked on building. And so like all you can do is really like analyze what came and how it kind of shook out, and what your guys' position was on it. And I think that's really what I was looking for in the question. Like not so much like, hey, what does it look like moving forward? And anyways.
No, I
I'm
appreciate
not
that.
trying to pressure. I'm not trying to
No,
pressure.
no,
I
you guys
didn't
for
get
anything
that
else
vibe
than
from
that.
you. I was just kind of addressing the audience. I didn't get that vibe from you really with that question at all. But we got a big audience. I was just kind of addressing it to them. But
Okay, great.
yeah,
Cool.
man,
No, and I respect it, man, because that's like an important part. Like as I said, like being someone that's been around startups for a long time, like you can have a great team, but if that team's not willing to look back and say, hey, look, these weren't the best decisions, or this was a stumbling block, and learn how to grow from that, then they're never going to move out of being a startup and being a build up. Right. So yeah, I agree with you. I think those questions are important. And these are questions we ask ourselves as a team all the time. Right. Like these are the types of things we have to go through on a daily basis to say, hey, was this the right choice? If it wasn't, what could we have done differently? How can we adjust this to going forward in our plan? And it's a really important part about just making a functioning business.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like a good team probably almost ends up on the people's court at least once or twice here and there. You know what I mean? Like when I will say we hold each other accountable. Like and like
Oh
when
yeah.
one of us makes a bonehead move, we express our feelings about it. But that's the cool thing. Like, I mean, I have no qualms admitting it. Like I was having a horrible day. Like I lost a friend, and like Zetman had messaged me something, and I was snappy with him. But I just messaged him the next day. I was like, "Hey, I appreciate you," and he's like, "Man, this is family. I love you." No, I didn't even think about it, and I was just like, "Okay," like because that's the vibe it is, right? Like we can not only can we do we work well together, but we can also call each other on our shit most of the time, and like it's pretty well received from all sides. Pretty good working relationship. That's for sure.
And one thing I will say is now that some of this is shaken out and we've gotten back to business and things are starting to get more level, you're going to start seeing like more of the custom videos, more of the like media and stuff that you used to see from Ink before we got to the end of Mint. We're getting back to that. We're going to, get back to like focusing on art and highlighting, awesome creators in our community, like Count Strife, like what he's doing with the AI stuff. Like our whole team's excited about that. Like we want to enable other creative people, and we really want to get back to what our root messaging was about from the beginning, right? And that's building this awesome community that brought us back to why we started crypto, and like empowering that community to do awesome things. So I think, you're starting to see it more. We're starting to see people like Hadouken is, freed up quite a bit more and starting to give us more content. Joey's back on the customs after the car show's done. So we're going to see a lot of like that stuff coming out now that we've gotten through, some of the bigger things here, like the Metabape stuff and the car show. Like I know that was mostly in China and stuff, but that was a big undertaking for our team with how much we did with that car show. So
There's nothing like events to totally suck up any available capacity. I've had an event business for like 20 years, man. So
yep.
yeah, it's like the events just like they will destroy your bandwidth so quickly.
They take your bandwidth, then they eat your time, and then they spit out your soul.
Yeah, it's a ruthless thing to try and do. Focus on the virtual, man.
Yeah, we get that, but it was just kind of this opportunity came to us, and it seemed like a really cool way to put our IP into a big mainstream event, and the cards just kind of aligned. So we decided to go for it. Yeah, like again, that's one of the things we have to look back at. Was it worth our time? I don't know. Like that's something we're gonna have to evaluate going forward, and see if those partnerships become more fruitful and things like that. But at the time, yeah, I think we kind of saw it as an opportunity to just get more new eyes on it, find a cool new merch partner, stuff like that. So there were some great value that came out of that, but it was at the cost of some of our time and bandwidth for sure.
I do believe that there's some merch. I mean, I know it's not a run big enough for every holder, right? But I know there's some merch left over from the show that was intended to be distributed in some
Correct. Yeah,
way.
it's supposed to be coming back to us, and then we're going to do some fun stuff in the community to get it out to you guys. We'll cover, get it all out to you guys and stuff like that. So it'll be fun. And they're really, really high quality shirts, really cool custom art on them. We spent a lot of time like finding the right match for creating something that we, fit the quality of the art. We didn't want to put, Joey's art on a Hanes t-shirt. So we definitely found a great partner for that.
Nice. Yeah, so you guys should see some merch come out of that card.
And I know merch isn't the most exciting thing in this space, but it was something for the event, and we made enough so that we could give some to the community that wasn't able to attend the event. So it's kind of fun, but definitely not
I like a t-shirt just as much as anybody.
Yeah, but it's not a milestone. Not like it was in 2021, right? Like back then, you launched a sweatshirt and you're floor pumped.
I don't know about you, but I never got a fanny pack, so I'm still...
bro. You can order them just without a moonburn on them.
No, I just want to. I want to win one. I want to win one for staking $40,000 for 6 months.
But
much appreciation for everybody who came out to this. By the way, it's just like I said, it was just a random chill session. Just so I'm just putting together some Q&A stuff, and circle back to people who might have just joined. I'm just putting together some Q&A stuff and just taking some community feedback and just kind of just catching up with people. That's all.
yeah, so if you have any questions or anything like that from us, I mean, nothing's off limits. I mean, we may not be able to answer everything to your liking, but we'll try our best. Feel free to just fire them away, and Frenchie and I will stand in front of the barrage.
Okay, I got an AOB. Hello?
Shoot.
Hello? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got an AOB. This is a sort of a personal favor, but I'm quite desperate. Does anybody know at Twitter who can help me get back my account?
We, back before Mint, we used to have somebody that would help us when they wanted a whitelist, but now they don't help us anymore, I don't think.
Oh shit, man.
That's a true story, I'm pretty sure.
And my 2 account services executives are no longer with the company. They were in one of the layoff waves.
Oh, damn. Those motherfuckers just suspended me for no reason. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wish we could help. Wish we could help out. If anybody knows anybody.
Where'd J-Dog go? He knows everybody.
I won't be surprised.
Dude, anytime I'm like, man, I really need a contact for there, J-Dog's like, hold on a second. I think I know somebody. Like, Jesus.
What's
good, everyone?
Oh, there's Kiwi.
Yo.
I just muted myself because every time I talk to you fuckers, I'm driving, and you all know how that goes.
Hello, Kiwi.
You got all your fingers today?
I do, bro. I do. Yes, yes. One of the boys at work dropped a manhole on 3 fingers yesterday. That was pretty bad. So he got 3 cuts on the underside of all the 3 fingers, and then all 3 fingernails popped and squirted blood everywhere, and all gone black. So I think I'm pretty good at it. But it's healing, bro. Like, it's healed up considering I did a patch job, I guess.
For backstory, this man basically cut his thumb to the bone and then just threw duct tape and super glue on it and called it a day.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did for about 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. These are things you got to do, man. Like, I'm not sitting at the A&E, you know, like that little session at the A&E for 4 hours cost me like $400, so fuck that. I'll fix myself. How's everyone? Everyone else well?
You're crazy, my dude.
Everyone else good?
Yeah, doing good. How about you?
Yeah,
doing great, man. Doing great.
You need a break from this heat. I've been like using my daughter's kiddie pool because it's been so fucking hot here.
It's cold here at the moment. We're getting snow and shit at the moment, so
yeah, that's how that works.
I washed and waxed and detailed my car today in that heat.
I didn't know where you were going with that. If you were going with your car, that ass.
After I got back from the airport this morning, and I was like drenched.
I've just had a vision of Frenchie at like one of those car wash places that you pull up, you know, and he's like all over the rubbing himself.
He's just sitting inside drinking a Powerade in the AC.
Well, you guys get fucking hot though. Like, you guys be what? And what are you guys in? Like the 90s at the moment or something?
Yeah, it is about to hit 100 here.
Fuck. So you guys are basically 30 degrees at the moment.
It's 35 right now. 35 C.
Far out. We don't even get that hot here, man.
Yeah,
that's cooking.
How's it going, Monty?
We got close to 40 over the weekend.
I'm at 115 right now.
Whew. Where are you, like Nevada or something?
Arizona.
Okay, yeah. This is the fucking desert. God damn.
Yeah. You walk outside, it's like opening an oven and trying to get a cake out.
I bet. Just like when the last time I was in that high heat, I got sunburns, like I got pavement burns on my feet, like just from walking on shoes, like with open tops. I was wearing flip flops.
Yeah, worst part is walking in a parking lot and bumping into a car by accident with your arm.
Oh!
You just hear the sizzle. I'm like, oh,
Ouch! It wasn't like 120 in Vegas the other day.
Yeah, something like that.
120. That's like, what's that? 45, 40. That's
we had
Australia.
28 days last July that are over 115, 117 straight days.
That's like 48 Kiwi.
Yeah, well, my missus came over there to Vegas like 6 years ago, and I remember her telling me she was like, walked out of the Wynn onto the Strip or whatever, and she's like, it was fucking like 115 at 10:30 at night, you know? She's like, it's like freaking 35 degrees, and it's basically like, even even over here in New Zealand, like when it gets hot in the day, it's not at night. Like even in the summer, we can get quite cold still in the summer at nighttime.
When you guys have humidity too, like all the time.
Yeah, we sit at nothing less than basically 75%. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like in the desert, it's like 0. it's like negative. It's taking
we have
humidity from
humidity. We have humidity, but it's only like in the teens, in the low 20s, so you can't even feel it.
Yeah, the air's sucking water out of your body because you have a higher. Like, dude, it's crazy. Like you go there and you don't even realize like how dehydrated you're getting. Like it's
Right.
insane.
That kind of heat, like I really like a dry heat over a sticky like Thailand humidity. Like I don't know.
I spent my summers in the high desert working on a farm. I'm done with dry heat.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking frickin' 45 degrees. I'd like a dry, like 28 degrees. That would be perfect. But
Yeah,
40 plus off.
It was a high elevation desert, so it was super low humidity. Like it was dry as hell all day, every day.
Yeah. Well, how's everyone thinking about runes? I see it was probably not what everyone thought that was going to be, but the general ordinals.
Ask me in a year. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's almost like when we were discussing earlier on, when even people here are like, can we have a rune because everyone's getting a rune? Like obviously it's played out and shown that just something on the end of it doesn't help. It generally hinders more unless there's some real.
I mean, it's just short term.
More assets.
Yeah, exactly. You have more holders to take care of. You have more assets. You have like it's just so much more to manage for what at the end of the day. And like some of these are going to be successful. Don't get me wrong. Like some of these will break out eventually and whatnot. But
100%. I think right now with the low liquidity within the market and like it's just everyone's trying to find profit, which is just killing everything. Like people are, taking
it was kind of a rough time.
It is rough time. It's very rough for sure.
Well, just like when runes came out, we were like fine. We were starting to get some action in ordinals, and then like ordinals were daily volume was on the rise, and then we dropped runes, and it kind of like split everyone's attention. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of liquidity moves on. I think it's just a good thing for people to understand when something new comes out. Sometimes it's worth sitting on the back seat watching shit play out. Like that's probably the best thing that people can take from this, because I think a lot of people liquidated ordinals for runes that thought it was going to everything was going to 100x like a shit.
For sure.
The reality is it's not there, and now a lot of people have.
It was also done like. I mean, it was a really volatile time for the chain, right? Like anytime a difficulty change, stuff like that happens, like we see a little volatility. And we see, we see some adjustment, and then, we'll see some pumping here, but like having something like that launch that had so much speculation right behind it during such like a time on chain it was an interesting experiment. I don't know that I personally felt like it was the most successful time to launch it, but what the hell do I know?
I guess in this bloody Web3 space, is there any ideal time? Like tomorrow could be fucking everyone's on the moon missing and off it goes. It's how the space works, I guess. But
I'm just saying, like historically, if you look at like something like a halving on Bitcoin, right? Like you get minor panic initially. You get the hardware influx from the new ASICs dropping, and then you have a lot of money moving. You have quite a bit of volatility with like some of these smaller to medium sized miners making the decision of whether they're even going to participate on chain as an individual company anymore, or whether they're going to switch to pool, like this kind of things. And we're also in a state where like the majority of our UTXOs are being we're not in a very decentralized time right now on the Bitcoin chain. If you look at like we've got maybe 3 pools that are really solving most of the UTXOs right now. So it's like they're solving most of the blocks. So it's like, you know, it just felt like a kind of a volatile period. And then you kind of like threw gas on the fire. But like I said, Casey's he's a smart guy, so he knows something I don't. I'm just gonna sit here and see what happens. I mean, maybe launching during this time is the reason it's gonna pump in 12 months time, whatnot, right? You time this with the Bitcoin, with a new Bitcoin all-time high, possibly. So you know, we could see it could go either way, but the knee-jerk reaction is it just felt like it was a little, I don't know, a little poorly timed for me. But
well, I mean, yeah. And then we got slammed with all the shit that's happening around the world, which is like we put the massive hindrance shit right now as well. You know, with sick, war, fucking all the rest of it. But
yeah,
whatever.
election cycle in the Americas, like that's always a little volatile in the global economy.
Still so early.
So Roscoe, that's what I was gonna actually ask you, Roscoe. Would you rather it be 110 with 15% humidity or 96 with 65% humidity?
To be honest with you, I just got back from Tulum about a month ago, and I would rather be in this heat than in Tulum. I couldn't even fucking breathe out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was super muggy. So I could just imagine Florida or anything in the East Coast like that that's humid as fuck.
I like 79 degrees and 51% humidity. Is that okay?
That's pretty specific.
It's very specific.
It's funny. The humidity's it's thick out here right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, you need that little breeze here. But even if you get it here in this heat, it's not a cool breeze. It's a hot breeze. So it doesn't make you cooler. It makes you hotter.
It's brutal.
Yeah, no, you know what's crazy? Like Arizona is super sunny, and there's so many people out here that don't wear shades. They're out here looking at it in this glare, and their eyes are just squinting majority of the time.
Oh, right, that's what I do. I don't wear shades at all. I never wear shades. I've got the squint eye. But I'm a builder in real life, so I'm used to squinting. I do it when I'm not meant to wear safety glasses, man. I got the safety squint.
That's the way it is everywhere. Crazy.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes in this heat in their car. I'm like, oh, you're fucking killing yourself.
Hotboxing themselves with their ciggy in the car. Yeah, that's pretty classic.
Yeah, that's classic.
Daniel, the cool.
Hey, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it, bro.
Hey, it sounds like long over here.